In this episode of the Butt Chronicles, we take a look at Beavis and Butthead, episode 36, Kidnapped, Part 1.
Welcome to Industrial Industries World Radio's The Butt Chronicles.
You said welcome.
Oh God.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and butt munchers alike. Welcome to the Butt Chronicles, your audio guide to everything Beavis and Butthead. And I'm your host, DJ Glowing Ice. Today we're looking at Beavis and Butthead, episode 36, Kidnapped, Part 1. It first aired on MTV on September 8th, 1993, and that's all we need to know right now. So what happens in Beavis and Butthead, Kidnapped, Part 1? Well, let's check it out. The episode starts in Beavis and Butthead's house as the boys watch TV. The TV plays a commercial where it shows a woman in a white dress in a room with a chandelier as she says, "I'm a natural woman, a vagin natural woman." The boys change the channel and it shows another commercial of a blonde woman sailing on a boat with the wind blowing in her hair. She says with a smile on her face, "And that's why the very first sign of itching, I reach for Fem Cream." They change the channel again to another commercial of a woman playing tennis on a tennis court. She stops as she holds the tennis racket in her hand and says, "Hey, I don't have time for a yeast infection. That's why I go with gyno lubrament." Cut to the boys on the couch and Butthead says, "Whoa, we gotta get some of that."
"Yeah, we don't have time for a yeast infection either,"
says Beavis. The boys continue watching TV as a commercial for a heavy metal fest called Mucho Metal comes on. The commercial shows a rock concert with people headbanging as the announcer on the commercial says, "This Saturday, sunset to sunrise, bang your head till your ears bleed at the Civic Amphitheater. It's Slayer, Metallica, Megadeth, and Color Me Bad. It's a lot of metal. It's mucho metal." The commercial ends displaying the price of tickets at $23 apiece. "Whoa, hey Beavis, your nose is bleeding."
"Cool, we're there, dude. Got any money?"
Butthead reaches into the couch cushions and pulls out 45 cents. Butthead asks Beavis if he has any money, which Beavis says he doesn't because he spent all his money playing Zeltar.
"Got anything we could sell?"
Sperm? The boys both laugh, a lot, and as they continue laughing, one of them lets out a fart, and they laugh even more. The boys are digging deeper in the couch cushions now to find more money. Instead, they pull out old chicken bones, cigarette butts and lighters, and even spaghetti and meatballs with ants swarming all over it. Cut to Beavis and Butthead's front door from the inside as it's wide open, and Stuart walks in and makes his way to Beavis and Butthead, who are back, sitting on the couch and watching TV. "Hi Beavis, hi Butthead. The front door is open. Anyone could come walking into your house. Remember the Katie Beers tragedy?"
He said beers.
The boys both laugh. "Not like beer. Like that girl that was kidnapped by a family friend and locked up under that house." "Cool," replies Butthead. Stuart points his finger and says, "Hey, if you two aren't careful, you could get kidnapped too and held for ransom." This then gets Beavis and Butthead thinking. Thought bubbles start appearing above their heads, and inside the thought bubbles are hands flicking lighters. "Hey, Stuart, how much money do your parents have?" "Oh, I would say more than average," Stuart replies.
"Do they got $46?
asks Beavis. "Oh, even more than that. In fact, my..." Butthead interrupts Stuart's bragging and says, "So, Stuart, do you think they, love you?" Stuart, now looking appalled at the question, says, "Of course they love me. I'm their only son, and well..." Butthead interrupts again and asks, "Hey Stuart, want to watch TV with us?" A smile washes on Stuart's face as he sits on the couch in the middle and says, Yeah! Wow! This is great, hanging with you guys. Butthead looks at Beavis, and then to Stuart and says, yeah. Butthead then gets up from the couch and announces that he has to go to the bathroom. Butthead turns to Beavis and says, Hey Beavis, come with me for a second.
Choke your own chicken, dude. What's wrong with you?
Butthead then smacks Beavis and then pulls him by his nostrils off the couch.
Ow! What's your problem, butthole?
As Stuart sits on the couch watching Full House, Beavis and Butthead are in the kitchen, standing next to the telephone hanging on the wall. As Beavis sits on the counter, Butthead says, We have to call Stu's parents now and ask for money, remember? Beavis picks up the phone and tells Butthead to disguise his voice when he calls them. Butthead dials Stuart's house, then the phone rings, but he gets the answering machine greeting where Stuart's mom and dad together have a greeting that says, Hello and thanks for calling. We're not here to take your call, but if you leave a message at the sound of the tone, we'll get back to you in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Stuart's dad is then heard laughing, and he says to his wife, Mrs. Stevenson, Good, honey. The answering machine beeps and Butthead says, we're like kidnappers or something, and we want some, money. Beavis yells yeah, and then laughs. Butthead ends the message by saying, Call us back immediately. And then he hangs up. Walking back to the couch as Stuart is watching TV, Stuart says, Hi guys! You're back just in time for Full House. That Uncle Joey's funny, huh? The boys standing by the couch stand silent for a second, and Butthead says, This sucks.
Yeah, we should have kidnapped someone cool.
And that's the end of Beavis and Butthead, Kidnapped, Part 1. Now let's get into the music videos. The first music video is Cool Kids by Kix, and the boys think that the video sucks, and Butthead says, Whoa, what the hell is this crap? Is this like a joke? He goes on saying, I thought people usually look cool in leather jackets. Beavis, while trying to flick a lighter on, follows up by saying that the band looks like wussies. Referring to the band, Butthead tells Beavis that you can't polish a turd. Beavis mentions how he tried to polish a turd once with some dog doo-doo and black shoe polish, and in his attempt, he couldn't. Butthead says, That's disgusting, Beavis. I bet it was pretty cool to try, though. As the band sing the words, Cool Kids, Butthead, looking at the band, says, These are supposed to be cool kids? I'd hate to see the uncool kids. This sucks. And then they change it. Next is Locomotion by Kylie Minogue, and Butthead says that Kylie has more teeth than most people, and Beavis says,
Yeah, bite me.
Butthead says, She looks like that chick in the mall.
Chicken what?
That chick in the mall.
That chicken? What do you mean?
No, asswipe. I'm talking about that chick.
Oh, you mean that chick that works at Chick-fil-A? That chicken place?
What's your problem, Beavis? I'm not talking about chicken. Pull your thumb out of your ear and put it back in your butt. Butthead says that the video is upbeat, and Beavis says,
It makes me want to get up and beat it.
Butthead says, You said up. This makes me feel good.
The video?
No, this. And then Butthead changes it. Next is Anywhere But Here by Raging Slab. And seeing Gary Coleman in the video, Beavis says that he's the dude from Winster. The boys headbang to it and Butthead asks, Is this Skinner? Butthead says the name Danny Bonaducci. And Beavis says,
Danny Bonaducci, 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 Bonaducci.
And the last music video is Welcome to Planet Motherfucker by White Zombie, but it's listed in the video as Welcome to Planet MF. The boys think the video is cool, they headbang and they dance to it, and Beavis says that he went to a White Zombie concert and he went into the pit. Butthead says, No you didn't, liar. You stood outside and tried to sneak in. Then you got your ass kicked by that big fat bouncer when you tried to sneak backstage. Beavis then says he's talking about a different time and that Butthead wasn't there. Butthead says, "Hey Beavis, this song is called Welcome to Planet MF." The boys try to figure out what MF stands for, and the boys decide that it stands for pretty cool. That's your music videos. Now let's get into the fun facts. Due to the fire controversy that'd be happening a little later on in 1993, there were a few things that were censored in this episode. One was when Beavis tries to flick on a lighter during the music video of Cool Kids by Kix, and the other one was when Beavis and Butthead got thought bubbles and they had lighters flicking. The lighters being flicked were changed to light bulbs in the censored version of this episode. In the ad for the Mucho Metal concert, at the very end, it shows some addresses, and the address on the commercial said 1515 Broadway, 199 Main Street, 31 Judge Drive, Turkle Road. And this was just a mixture between the address that is MTV headquarters in Manhattan, and Judge and Turkle were references to Mike Judge and Abby Turkle, who was the executive producer at Beavis and Butthead. Kidnapped was officially released, even though it was a cut version on the Sticky Situations home video that came out in 2000. Kidnapped Part 1 is the 5th episode of Season 3 of Beavis and Butthead, and it's the 36th episode overall. And IMDb, the Internet Movie Database, gives Beavis and Butthead Kidnapped Part 1 a 7.6 out of 10 rating. Now, I'll give you my review. I don't think I've ever seen this episode before, and if I have, it's just very vaguely, so this was practically a new Beavis and Butthead episode to me. I just gotta say that I laughed my ass off watching this episode. Even if it's just a part 1 and it's not a complete episode, this part 1, it could have just been an episode all on its own, and it's great just alone by itself. The funniest part to me was at the very beginning when Beavis and Butthead are trying to figure out how to get some money, and Butthead mentions that they could sell sperm, possibly, and then they just laugh, and while they're laughing, they fart. My stomach hurt watching that and laughing. And then you have Stuart coming over, and it's just so classic. If you ever met these kids before, they're complete wusses, but they brag about how their family has a lot of money, and they watch crap TV like Full House. Stuart is... I've met so many people that are like Stuart. It's great. I love it. So needless to say, it does end very abruptly where Butthead just says, "This sucks," as they watch... Full House on their TV, and I got tears in my eyes just even thinking about it, not even watching it. So I gotta say, this episode was really good. The Mucho Metal, the feminine hygiene products commercials at the beginning were great. This was a very solid episode. And then we have the music videos. They make fun of Kix, that with the Cool Kids by Kix, and that was just... They bashed them. They roasted them hard. White Zombie, Welcome to Planet Motherfucker. Awesome song, awesome music video, and Beavis and Butthead watching it on top of it all. It's perfection. It is perfection. And this episode was perfection. So I'm giving this one a 10 out of 10. I know Beavis and Butthead very well, like the back of my hand, and I know what's a gem and what isn't. Even though this was something I never ever saw before, never was brought up in any Mike Judge collection, this was a great one. So that's where I'm going with Beavis and Butthead, episode 36, Kidnapped Part 1. It gets a 10 out of 10.